My original plan was to draw the dinosaur freehand that I made out of the shape tools in my last Affinity Designer 2 video. If you missed that video, I'll attach it to the end of this video. My freehand drawing turned out to be okay, well for me. Here it is. Hey, I'm not proud. So, the problem is that to do this, you have to use the pen tool. I found out fairly quickly that it has a bit of a learning curve. Did you see what I did there? Curve. So, change of plans. This video is going to be about the pen tool and the node tool, because those two tools, this one, the pen tool, and this one, the node tool, will go hand in hand. To use the pen tool, you press P on the keyboard. So here I'm pressing P on the keyboard, and then you'll see that it changes to the pen tool. Of course, you could always go over here and click on it. That's what I usually do. But you'll see as you mouse over each of your tools, it has a little bitty letter that tells you what the shortcut key is if you want to do that. Now, don't be fooled by the pen tool. It doesn't really function like a pen. You can't click your mouse and draw a circle, because if you try to do that, it's going to do this to you, and you won't know what is going on. And then you're going to get all sorts of stuff that you don't know what you're going to do with. So it's really not as easy at first as, say, the pencil tool, where if you click on the pencil tool, you can actually draw yourself a little circle, okay? But you don't do that with the pen tool. What you do is you click and form nodes, and each node will join together, giving you your shape. The problem is you have to know how to do that. So let's get rid of this by pressing delete. To draw a line with a pen tool, you click first to form a node. So there's your node, and then you click and form another node. There you go. There's your line. Now, I started out with this, setting my line thickness to 4.6 points, and up here is where you show the thickness of your line using the pen tool. But if you wanted to turn it down, all you would have to do is click on that and then just slide the slider over. See how it gets bigger and smaller? So we'll keep it around 3.6. It doesn't really matter at this point. And as you can see, if you're still in the pen tool, you're going to end up with something that does that. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So click on the pen tool, click one node, click another node, and you draw a straight line. In order to get out of it, you have to double click, like that. Then once it double clicks, it's going to give you this red square, and you know that when you click somewhere else, it's not going to come along with you if you don't want it to do that. Now, if you want to draw a line that's completely straight, this is straight. That's not what I mean by straight. This has a little bit of a lift to it. It's like a little hill. But if you don't want to get out of alignment, then what you do is you press the Shift key and you click down, and you're going to draw a line. And now if I try to move my pen, it's not going to move. It's going to make me do it that way. And so you just double click, and now you've got a straight line and it's in alignment. So that's what you have to do. If you don't care about that, if you just want to draw a straight line, then all you do is to click, and then if you don't double click it and you click down here, it's just going to keep on keeping on until you double click it, and then you'll start all over again up here, like that. See? And I just double clicked it. When I double clicked it, it turned into the red square. Now we've clicked a bunch of straight nodes together. If you want to, well, let me get rid of this. I'll delete all this out of here, and we'll start all over again. If you want to draw a curved line, then this is what you do. To do that, you don't click and then click again like I did up here. You click down and then you drag it, and you're going to get these handles. So once you get these handles, then these are your curvy handles. I don't really know what they're called, but I will call them curvy handles because this is how you're going to get your curved lines. This is what people really want to do when they use the pen tool to trace things or draw things or anything like that. Now, if you just let this go and click on another spot, now you have yourself a curve. And so you can click this out and you can make your line as curvy as you want. So then you click off that and you click off anywhere, and then you draw that and make your line as curvy as you want, and you can draw a bunch of waves or not, or you can just do this and all that. So all I want you to see is to see how you can draw this bunch of curvy lines. Let's click over here. We have more curvy lines and so on. So that's how you do that. So here we just clicked and double clicked and we had our line, and here we clicked and pulled until we got these blue handles right here, and that's where we get our curvy lines. Let's try to draw a circle. To draw a circle, what you really need are 4 nodes. You have one at the top, one at the bottom, and the 2 sides. So those are the 4 nodes that are going to join together to form your circle. So let's take the pen tool, and we're going to start at the top. And okay, we'll draw that out. Go down here, make the next part on our circle, and then adjust the shape any way you want. And then go down here and adjust the shape however you want. And then go over here and adjust the shape of your circle however you want. And then go up here and close it off. Now, if you get something like this and it looks like one of those balls out of Deflategate, don't panic, because we have our trusty little node tool over here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the node tool, and then we're going to adjust the nodes until we get our circle in the shape that we want. Now, one thing you want to avoid doing is adding another node. The more nodes you have on your shape, the worse it's going to be. So you're really better off either adjusting the nodes, adjusting the handles. So see, we can adjust the handles if we want to. So go up here. The handles will reform. So all you have to do is to adjust the nodes you already have and adjust your handles until your circle turns out the way you want it to look. So after a while you get to where, I've seen people do this without ever having to come back and do all this alteration. But until you really get the hang of how this is working, you're going to find that you're going to have to do some adjustments on your circle. And sometimes you can kind of tell that it's where the handles are that is the problem. Okay, so that just shows you how you can adjust your handles around and how you can adjust around the nodes that you already have until you get the circle or the shape the way you want. Now, to be perfectly honest, if you wanted to be a perfect circle, I would go down here and use the ellipse tool and then press shift so it constrains it, and then you have a perfect circle. But this is how you make a circle. Okay, now let's take a look at some things I have over here. Right now, I'm going to try to use the shape tool, the pen tool, to draw an outline around these shapes. I took these shapes from over here from the shape thing, and so these are going to be some basic shapes. So that's going to be how we're going to do this. Now to do this, I've got the pen tool selected, and I'm going to click on the top and draw my node out, and then click down here and then adjust my node, adjust my handle rather, until it matches up with this. Then I'm going to go down here and click on the circle and then click out the handle until our line adjusts. So the handles are really what's going to adjust your shape, and you just yank on the handles until you get what you want. Okay, so over here, we'll click again and adjust this handle out until that is closed up. And then up here, all we have to do is click on this to close our node. Click, click. And then we can adjust the handle. I clicked down on this, so that's what happened. Let's see if I can't just click, get rid of that node. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. So I have this. Now all you really have to do is to go on the node tool and then click on this once you've got the node tool and adjust the handle again like that until you close it up. Don't make the same mistake I did trying to do that with the pen tool when you have already closed the node, because then all your pen tool is going to do is try to make another handle like you just saw it do there. So there we have a circle. Now over here we have our triangle. The triangle is just so easy. You might as well use the triangle shape, but all you do is click once, click twice, click again, and then click to close. So there you have a really easy shape right there. Okay, so now that we've done this one, now we have a teardrop. You're only going to need 2 nodes for this one. So you're going to click once, and then you're going to pull this out, this handle out. I've clicked down, I'm pulling the handle out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hit the Alt key. And when you hit the Alt key, this will cause this to bend. And then you want to kind of match it up with the other side. And then release your mouse and release the Alt key. So now you have those 2 handles. Now this only needs 2 nodes, as I said, and the other node is going to go down here at the bottom of our teardrop. So you're going to click on that, and that will form this thing right here. So you're going to pull on the handle and until you get this to shape on half your teardrop. I never remember which way to pull the handle, so I have to fiddle around with it. Then all you're going to do is to click up here, and that will close it. Okay, now notice that this isn't really lined up very well. Not to worry, because all you're going to need to do is to take this handle and move it around until you get your shape in line with where it's supposed to be. And there then you're going to have your teardrop, and there it is. Now, if you're worried about the outline that's underneath your outline, these will be deleted after you're done with your outline. So as I said with my dinosaur drawing, even though my dinosaur drawing's not very good, once it gets to be outlined, then you're going to be able to delete whatever you drew, and then you're going to be left with your outline. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is a bit more difficult. That doesn't mean that it has more nodes. I only need to draw 2 nodes for this, but I'm going to have to use the Alt key twice. So the first thing I'm going to do is to click here, and then I am going to draw this handle out to where it sort of follows the line of the top of my heart until I get about here. And then I'm going to hit the Alt key, and then I'm going to bend it to where it goes up and meets the other part of the heart. Then I'm going to let my mouse go and let the Alt key go. Then I'm going to go down here, and notice how this has just drawn another part of the heart. Now the problem I have with this mainly is my mouse. It always likes to scroll up when I'm doing that, so hopefully it won't do that. Okay, now I've got my heart done. I'm going to hit the Alt key again, and then I'm going to go up like this until it's on the other side. It's kind of out of the picture, so you can't see it, but I want it to match the other side. Then I let my mouse go and my Alt key go, and I should have another part of my heart right there. Okay, so all I really did was I clicked up there. Then all I'll need to do is I'll just need to adjust these handles. So I'm going to click on my node key, node tool, and this is kind of out of range. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm clicking on this node over here so that I can put it back in. This took a bit of practice for me. So I'm going to arrange this to where my heart's a little bit better. And the whole point is to get it to match up with the drawn heart in the middle. Okay, so that looks good enough for me. And all we have to do to get rid of all those handles is to click out of it. And then we have our drawings. Now we can fill them if we want. And to fill them, all we have to do is to click on whatever it is. So I have all these layers here now. So I'm going to click on the ellipse, and then I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to do a red fill. Now, why isn't this red fill red? Well, because I have the opacity set to 23%, because I had the draw tracing set to 23%. So all we have to do on that one is just to change it like that. And I'll put that one back to 100%. So we can do the triangle. Just click on the triangle and fill it with yellow, and then change the opacity back to 100%. So there you've got yellow. Now we have a teardrop right there. And we have a blue one there. I actually like the 20% opacity, but I'm going to put it back to 100. And then we have our heart. Put it back here, and then I'll have like orange or something in there. Now, I have to break this to you. This does take some practice. So if I were you, if I had something I wanted to trace like that dinosaur, I have not tried to trace the dinosaur since I've been working on doing these shapes. So this does take a lot of practice, and the least number of nodes you have to use, the better your drawing is going to look, basically. Okay, so it does take some practice, so practice on this. And I can't believe I got through this video, and I hope you got something out of it. Hopefully, I'll be able to trace my dino picture the next time. Hopefully. So as usual, remember to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And if you want to help support my channel, buy me a coffee. The link is in the description of the video and the channel. So, hopefully next time I will have a traced dino to show you.